guys, welcome back to the Community Cares Podcast. I'm Dave. I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn, and I have the honor of being the president of Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. And we have an amazing special guest, somebody I really admire based upon her story and all that she's been through and turning pain into purpose. But she's also a good friend of mine, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
My name is Ciara Deuley-Madrid, and I am a suicide survivor, and I volunteer my time with First Help. That is to help first responders with the stigma against suicide and mental health.
Wow, very cool. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, Community Cares Podcast is a local communities podcast where we just talk about interesting things that are happening in the community, events and those kinds of things. And then we also highlight some things that are happening with Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet here.
You pick on Chaz a little bit.
It's tempting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. And then we also are featuring a community resource every single week. So this week is First Help. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Of course.
But as we talk, feel free to jump in, and this is a conversation, and our viewers and listeners know that it is a conversation. You'll see sometimes that they pop in and people ask questions and those kinds of things. So it that's all it's about, is just having a conversation with the community.
Awesome.
When Chaz and I first started it, the idea was that we were trying to figure out how to have some of these deeper conversations, because there's so much going on in the community. Two, me and Chaz learn something almost every single week.
For sure.
Like when we have these resources like you on, we don't even realize how much is going on in the community, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nice hat there.
Thank you so much. The Run for Love,
Yeah,
it was
like your hat.
awesome. It was sold out, and
Yeah, my mom was there.
I know, I saw your dad too. In fact, he said, Dave said to tell you that he's still in bed.
I was.
So it was so cool that we had a bunch of Circle Life crew there, and we were handing out medals at the finish line, and we had some of the children handing them out, and people were it was a really great family event.
It was a nice day, too. It was so beautiful yesterday.
So beautiful.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening to Community Cares. Just to let you know, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all over the place. You type in Community Cares, we're the first thing that comes up. On YouTube, it's not. You have to look a little bit harder. But if
we're not quite at the level of First Help podcast, which is amazing.
Oh, stop.
But we're all about getting the word out there, and we have a good following that really cares about what's happening in the community. So
it feels good to be live too, because we had to do a pre-recorded episode last week, right?
Oh yeah.
So happy President's Day.
Yes.
And some of us had to work.
Me. Just me.
I was supposed to work, and I actually took the day off because I needed a mental health day.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little under the weather, but I feel a lot better. So
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
that's hard, and it's important to take time for yourself. It really is.
Absolutely.
I mean, that really matters. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about 3 events that are going on in the community. And those listening or watching right now, please jump in the comments. Let us know that you're here, and we'd be happy to talk with you. So the first event that we wanted to highlight this week is Come In from the Cold Concert Series. It's a free event. $5 donation is recommended. It's Saturday, February 24th. From 5:30 to 8:30 at Bartley Ranch. The Rough Edges, which is a traditional bluegrass and old-time music band, they're the ones performing, and it's free, and it's indoors, and it's a great thing to do. I love bluegrass. I'm a big bluegrass fan, so I like a lot of that old-time music. Absolutely, I do. Do you like some banjo? I play a little banjo. Do you play any banjo?
It's okay. I don't play. I do like the free hot chocolate I see up there, though. That's cool.
Oh yeah, there's free hot cocoa and pastries, and the show starts at 7 p.m., but the doors open at 5:30. And again, why we highlight the community events is we're trying to encourage our listeners and viewers to get out in the community. That's super important, to be in the community, interacting with other people, and just having conversation, creating conversation, just like we're doing here, right?
Yep.
That crazy concept of talking about how your life is. Hey, did you go to the Reno Run for Love, or were you in bed?
Yeah.
Or
So I give you a hard time because you're not up early, but I'm looking at the free hot chocolate, and then I saw the show starts at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, that's too late
That's
for me.
pajama time, right?
Exactly.
hey, I'm all about it. I like the late shows, and that's not late. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's
There.
late,
I'm an old man.
late for me. We had dinner yesterday at like 4:45. And
Oh, wow.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm up at about 4:15 in the morning though. So
Great. That's good for you. For me, I enjoy my mornings. I take it slow, have a little coffee, take a breath, wait for Chaz to call me.
I try not to text you like till like 9 or till you text me like at 8 or something because I don't want to do it. But sometimes an idea pops in my head.
I know.
And I'm just like, oh, wait,
hey,
oh, darn it.
and sometimes I'll send you an email at 1 p.m. at night, and you're like, what, Dave?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
It's an emergency. Do you like this new sticker?
And so, but that's what it's all about, and that's why we highlight the events. Is we're really trying to encourage you to go out and be in the community. So,
I just want to add one thing before we jump to the next event too, because you were saying earlier, it's about that collaboration and working together. And I know that you and I talk about this, Dave, but you and I have also, Ciara, had this conversation about, what is with nonprofits and different organizations not working together.
Yeah.
And we need more of that. So,
absolutely, we have to. It takes the saying is, takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to make change. So
Absolutely.
the more we work together and we listen to each other, then that's how change comes.
Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah, and just to let you guys know too, the show or the concert series, it's a series, so they actually do it every week. They have it listed online, but I wanted to highlight it because it was free and it's some great artists that are local that are doing some great things. So, and it's good to have conversations with people in the community.
So where did bluegrass get its name? I'm really curious about that.
I don't know.
That would be a
I don't
fun
know.
fact. Next
that would
show.
be a fun fact. I'm not sure, but I mean, obviously, we have a lot of history here in Nevada with Virginia City and everything else. And Nika and I, we were actually sitting at a coffee shop one time in Virginia City, and this gentleman was just playing banjo, and then he gave us all a lesson. I didn't even know this was happening. We were just sitting there, and he gave us all a lesson on different musics and why the
That's
different
cool.
music came through. And I don't remember what he said about bluegrass because he did mention it.
That's
He
cool,
did.
though. Well, you're musical, and you're musical, you're artistic, and you're a musician. So I could say you'd really like that, dig that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You were in a band, maybe another band, maybe. soon?
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But we're it's all about definitely being in that community, and I mean, everyone appreciates music. I have not met anyone that's like, oh, I don't like music.
Yeah. Sarah likes to blast like heavy metal.
Oh.
I think you're joking about that on
Yeah,
the
I
podcast.
listen. I do. I joke. I listen to everything. Like it depends
Okay.
on it will go from like Tupac to like the Beatles, and you're like, whoa. But it's just it's how I express myself. My music.
Yeah.
My daughter's the same way. Like she loves music too. So
Do you have any music ability or anything?
no.
She's like,
In
no.
the shower, I can sing.
It's so funny. There's so much healing to music, though. And on a serious note, like that is such a therapeutic thing to do is listen to music.
It really is. And there's been a lot of studies on music and how it affects us emotionally and sparks memories and all sorts of things. There's a lot to music, absolutely. And Andrea says, amen to nonprofits working together.
Awesome.
I agree.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in,
Absolutely.
Andrea.
And she's been on the show a couple times. So we really appreciate you, Andrea.
Actually, she went with me to Ciara's daughter's school for their report because she's the chair for this Sparks Senior Advisory Committee.
Yeah.
And she's on a million boards as well, knows everybody, but she's
Yeah.
a really, really big pillar of our community. So thank you, Andrea.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's dive in a little bit more. The next event we would like to highlight is the Book a Librarian, which is ironic that we were talking about this. This is a senior-centric event.
Awesome.
And what it is there's a bunch of dates for the Senior Center Library off of 9th Street over there. So the one I want to highlight is between February 20th to March 22nd. There's a whole bunch of dates you can find online that they have listed, but those are the two beginning and the end dates. Get 50 minutes of assistance from a librarian at the Senior Center Library. They can help you complete online job applications, file for unemployment, set up an email address, and apply for government assistance. Make an appointment, and a librarian will do their best to help you. So that's a great way to definitely get some assistance if you're a senior and you're listening to this and you're not sure on what to do next in life. We've had people, we're partnered with AARP, and we've had people come in here to learn different skills because we're part of their program where they come in and learn different skills. And here would be kind of retail skills. I mean, we don't sell anything. We give everything away. But it kind of helps them have that skill for when they go out into the world and they want to work in retail. Because a lot of seniors want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
They really do.
Unfortunately, a lot of them do have to work as well part-time now
Right.
with the environment. But I didn't realize they had a library at the senior center or just librarians coming to the senior center.
I think a librarian's coming to the senior center. It
okay.
said book a librarian. So,
Awesome.
okay.
but it will be at the senior center off 9th Street over there.
And then we also have a new partnership. Do you want to tell them about our little box out back that was on social media? I think it just makes me
Yeah,
think
absolutely. Yeah, we can talk about that for sure.
of that. Go ahead.
And you're up.
The librarian. Oh, all right.
The Washoe
County.
But anyways, it's a great program in Washoe County where you can donate children's books,
Yep.
and they give them out to the schools after sorting them and cleaning them. And we have a box out back that during any business hours you can drive around back and put those gently used books in there.
Well, even beyond our business hours. So if Habitat for Humanity, because that gate,
perfect.
they're the ones that kind of open and close it. So anytime they're taking donations, you can drive to the back and donate to the book. So you can actually do more donations for books for us right now than you could do with clothes.
We got to work on that now.
I know.
Just kidding.
Well, and it's really important, I think, for us to have that interaction with our donors.
For sure.
I really do believe that. And furthermore than that, we do have barrels around the community, like our partnership with the National Automobile Museum. They have a barrel right now. You could go to the Automobile Museum, donate clothing in that barrel currently.
And you get half ticket price, right?
Yeah, for Sundays,
For
absolutely.
Sundays. That's awesome.
I could have gone.
I know. Well,
It's still going. So through the month of February.
Ciara,
I don't have any more clothes.
she
to
dropped off
donate.
5
You
bags.
can take a
today.
bag back
I
if you
won't
want.
take it. It's okay.
I will not have hurt feelings if you take it back. But yeah, we're really appreciative of our partnership with NAM, as well as our partnership with Washoe County,
Yeah.
with their books. I can't remember the name of it right now. Spread the word, Nevada.
Spread the word
That's
about
it.
it. Thank you. Yeah.
And they're going to be on the podcast soon too.
Awesome.
So great people over there, and we're really thankful for the partnership.
Well, I think that's a fundamental foundation for children to really excel at school is, having good reading skills. That's the
Absolutely.
foundation.
Absolutely.
So
Oh, Andrea says you can book a librarian at the Sparks Library also. That's pretty
right.
cool. I did not know
Awesome.
that. So
And we are going to be doing, thanks to Andrea, an Older Americans Month event in May here at the store. It's going to be like a shopping event with ice cream for the seniors, and we'll have some kind of training. But that's going to be really great. But we definitely want to start supporting our seniors more, and I thank you for taking that on.
yeah, I mean, for us, I mean, this is our heart. This is why the podcast is here. We really want to see how can we work together in this community? How can we help the community grow? How can we be a part of the change that really changes the way people look at other people in this community, right?
Right.
Because it's really easy just to kind of get in our heads and decide, oh, people only matter the way I think they matter. It really is.
We're
It's
all
really
guilty
easy.
of that at some point.
And or you look at people and you decide they only matter to me based on what I can get out of them, right? And that's not the way I feel led, or I don't think most people feel led to treat people, but that's almost our default. So how can we get out of that rut? How can we decide to be better? How can we decide to look at people like human beings? Crazy thought, right?
Which is it's a good what I was going to ask about that was, since my daughter's 13 and she does do volunteer, can I drop her off to help with that, so she could assist and learn skills more than I can give
So
her?
typically we always ask the guardians with them
okay.
under 18. However, we are going to start doing some family nights because it is important to have those opportunities I guess it would depend on the situation.
It depends on the student. So that's a big piece of it. So we have had students that are under 18 here serving in the community, but at that point, obviously, there's definitely some waivers we need signed and other things because we want to obviously protect that student as much as possible. Yeah. And but we do ask if possible, if the parent or guardian is there, but we are open to having conversations.
Maybe a student group and having some female chaperones from our staff.
Sure.
Or volunteer leaders. But I think it's really important to get them active, just like she was doing, senior cards with her friends. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really awesome. And not everybody wants to go to the soup kitchen. Sometimes it's dangerous. Yeah. So this is a really good environment, I think, to be able to get involved.
Yeah. So our open days are Mondays from 3 to 7 normally, Wednesdays 9 to 1, and Fridays 9 to 1. And then our closed days, where we just do strictly sorting, is Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 2. So if we had a group in, it'd probably be one of our closed days, just sorting and that kind of stuff, which help that we could really use. So because we give away over $70,000 worth of clothing every single month. That's a lot of pieces of clothing that we give away
at thrift store prices too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a lot.
At any given time, we have probably 350,000 pieces of clothing within our facility, excluding socks and underwear. So that's a lot of clothing to work out. And the reason we really want to try to keep that stock room all organized the way it needs to be is so we can help more people.
Right.
And then our micro closet expansion project
which
is
we
really
got some
kicking
news
off.
We can't say today, but it's coming soon.
I know we can't talk everything about it yet.
It's so huge and it's official, but we can't say it yet. But we're about to announce it.
Signatures have been written, and we're ready to go on some big micro closet news soon. Our pilot program right now is at Bristlecone, so we're working on that facility, making sure it is the way it needs to be. We're gonna have like a wish list for them there, and so they're able to like put down, I need a size 13 shoe or something like that, and
That's
then
awesome.
we're able to get that to them. Hopefully that next week, based on our availability, right?
Chaplain John Gissy, who happens to be a supervisor at the VOA at the CARES campus as well, and the Great Basin Chaplain Corps team lead for the homeless chaplaincy team, he says, "Just say it."
Just say it. We can't.
I can't.
We
Dave.
can't.
I can't, John. Dave
Sorry,
will kill
John.
me.
I will kill him. I'm sorry. It will happen.
But we did have
Molina
bought us a truck, which is out back. It's a Toyota Tacoma 2023, right?
Yeah, brand new.
Wow.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's sick. Gonna go joyriding 4x4, right?
Oh yeah, and we're gonna work on a wrap pretty soon because we want to make sure we're representing our sponsors. And there's been some awesome things in the community that's been going out. So,
well, thank you to Molina for giving that $52,000. I mean, way to step up and really just help us lay the foundation to launch our initiatives.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's huge. So we just received a grant. We publicly posted $52,000 for a truck, and we're very thankful for our partners at Molina for that. So let's move on to the next event that we wanted to highlight. There's an improv class that's completely free. The location is the Generator, which we've mentioned quite a bit. I love it.
Did you do that because of all my bad dad jokes? You want me to go get some lessons?
We can get you help, bud.
Man.
We can get you help.
My name's Chaz, and I have bad dad jokes.
I'm a recovering dad jokeaholic. No, your jokes are good.
Sometimes.
I like your jokes, man.
That last one I did on the Valentine's Day, that was awful.
That was rough.
That was rough.
That one was rough. But you came up with it on the fly, so that's improvisation.
It was bad, yeah.
But this is a great way to talk with people and learn how to think on your feet. Improv is actually something. So my wife was a theater major, and she talks about it all the time. She used to teach improv. And it's definitely one of those things. Thinking on your feet. It helps with presentations. It helps with talking with people. Improv doesn't have to be funny.
I'm just teasing you, Nika. Sorry.
Nika.
I saw she dyed her hair blonde.
She did. Yeah.
I was gonna put a joke on there and say we all do your blonde, but I thought no, she scares me. So.
She should scare you a little bit.
We all love Nika. We thank her for sharing you and on the holiday that you have off.
Yeah.
Like your other 14 holidays.
No, well, we're all about trying to make sure we're in the community, making sure we're doing things, and our partnerships with, or having Faith Academy on, who
Yeah.
Nika's a part of that, is good, and different partnerships like First Help, and just talking with people. How can we do our best to reach the community, to help those in need?
And you guys used to have a vlog, right? Or
Yeah,
blog?
we used to. We used to have a vlog, a locals vlog.
Okay.
It was fun. We're gonna probably start it back up. Is what
That's
we're
awesome.
talking about.
Yeah.
So this improv class is totally free, but they do ask a donation of food to share with everyone else. It's definitely a fun, free thing to do in the community. I'd highly recommend going down. The Generator is doing so much good stuff in the community right now. During Halloween, they had this whole artist-led, what was it, mini golf course that they made.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I don't know if you've seen it. It's where Jeremy Renner did the whole show that was based in Reno over there. So it was called Renovations.
Oh,
and he did a
okay.
whole thing on Disney Plus.
He actually gave one of the trucks to Nevada Peer Support Network
Yes.
for their rehab unit. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, no, it's pretty intense, and it's a big facility, and they're doing a lot of cool art projects within the Generator.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely some cool stuff there. So those are on every last Thursday of the month, and it's free. So definitely go out. I mean, I think all the events we highlighted were free this time. Yeah, they were. We don't always highlight just free events, but we are going to have some free events coming up for Good Shepherd's Close Closet pretty soon. So we're going to be doing a baby shower with our partners at Silver Summit, the back to school event with Melina, all sorts of different things to just help the community and give away free things. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ciara with First Help. And please tell us everything about First Help and what you guys are doing.
So First Help, I came to First Help in June of 2020, and what we do is so HELP stands for Honor, Educate, Lead, and Prevent. We started as Blue Help for just police officers.
Oh.
It was recording the data of how many statistical suicides there was in police officers each year. And in 2019, it grew to look at all of first responders. So our fire, our dispatch, our EMT, corrections is within the LEOs. So we started seeing all these trends that, especially firefighters, their numbers were ticking up along with police officers. So that's when I came into First Help, as I am a Blue Line suicide widow. I lost my fiance in June of 2020. I'm originally from Southern Nevada. I'm an original Nevadan.
Oh.
I am original, but I'm born
At
and
least you're
raised.
from
Yes.
Nevada, right?
I'm born
You
and
say
raised.
it right too, Nevada.
And my family, I'm actually a third generation born and raised Nevadan.
Nice.
So if you ever went to the Hoover Dam, that tiny little town right outside of Vegas, you drove through my hometown.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
where I lived. And when Matt passed away, we were living in Henderson, but he worked for Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for 23 years. Everything from a beat cop to undercover narcotics. He spent the last 11 in homicide. And
stuff.
very, very tough stuff. And he retired in September of 2019, and COVID hit and changed his life even more so than retirement did. And he went back to being a police officer for Moapa Tribal Police Department, and he was with them for 5 weeks before he took his life. So First Help has been my saving grace, because when you're in a position of suicide after and you have your friends still, but you're all alone, you have this community, this family of people that understand.
Yeah.
Because of the stigma within first responder suicide, all those people kind of do drop off and they're not there for you anymore. I can say that a lot of them from us are still there for me. They still talk to them. One of them comes, his son goes UNR, and he comes and stays with us.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
But it changes you. So First Help, I really got involved when I moved up here. I had to leave Vegas. I needed to be gone from there after Matt died. And every year, one of the founders, his name is Joe Willis, he walks a mile for each first responder that died by suicide that year. So 2022, I had just been laid off of my job. And I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, I was still struggling because there's never a day that you don't really struggle with after suicide. Sure. And I started walking with him. And that's when I kind of first met Chaz, because he said he was going to come to the December 31st walk. So the December 31st walk is from November 11th to December 30th, we go state by state for each first responder. So like this year, for example, I did California first. It was 17 miles. And then on the 31st, every suicide reported after November 11th, we walk those miles. So if you remember, December 31st, 2022 is that big snowstorm that it dropped. But Chaz was going to walk. There was a couple people that had said that they were interested in coming and walking, but then it started snowing really, really badly. And I ended up even leaving the marina and walking at home. But that's where like I first got involved. Like I'd always been involved, like especially when we have like our family weekends, but I never like dove in. And then I got my certifications to teach classes to first responders on how to help their mental health. And it's just kind of taken off from there. Came into their podcast. I stumbled into that, as I was telling Chaz earlier, and I'm the co-host of the podcast. And we do everything there. We talk to first responders that are retired, they're still working. We talk to family members because unfortunately too, within that job, we see a lot of mental health gets ignored and they kind of can go crazy and then the wives are totally left out.
Well, I think you guys are doing some amazing things for a few things. So first, the different retreats you guys do, the dinners in Texas, you go and you stay together, all the families. And how many nights is that?
It just varies. So this year will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. So it's 3 nights this year. And this year is the big, it's been in the works. COVID halted it, but it's a one-of-a-kind park. And it will have all veterans that have died by suicide and all first responders that have died by suicide. Their names will be on around this huge, beautiful monument of first responders and vets. It'll be like a memorial type thing, but there's nothing else like it in the country.
That's so amazing for the connectivity and the support. We have our cheesy tagline, but it really is powerful. Be the change you want to see in the world. And you guys are definitely working to break the stigma. They have 58,000 followers on Facebook. And so the podcast gets shared nationwide. And I've heard from other people that it's really made a difference. And it was funny. It was just like we were always talking about. You just don't always know about all the resources in the community. And so I actually met Ciara in person at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention yearly Out of the Darkness walk. And I was like, who's this nice lady with these awesome sides? Like, I your banners were awesome for First Help. And then we ended up talking. I think Ryan was there. And then I met Danica. And, you were explaining all the things that you guys did, which is just so incredible. I mean, really making a difference. But again, I had no idea who they were, what they did as an organization. So I'm glad that you brought that to the spotlight here in Reno.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know firsthand, obviously, how much. So statistically, we'll say it like this. A first responder can see more trauma in one shift than an average human will see their entire life. So I know firsthand just what that is and what comes home with that. And if my story can help somebody to move forward with their life and not take their life, then that's all that matters.
I think there's a lot of power in that too, because the officers or the first responders, we're not always thinking of the family side.
Right.
And so for them to hear from you as a spouse or significant other who is engaged or married, that's really powerful to hear that story, and maybe helps them kind of process, what they're going through and reach out to that support, that chaplain, that therapist, peer support. I mean, it's really important.
Yep. And I know, so the Chaz was on our podcast. Christy does the podcast with me, and we are together collaboratively with other resources within First Help. We're writing a family readiness program. So
that's awesome.
It's teaching the families how to understand the traumas that come home too.
So we have it says a wonderful podcast from Jackie. Oh, that's my great aunt. And then Mr. Jones says, Patriot says, Mr. Dave, what's that about?
Misty Rose.
Oh,
Misty Rose Jones.
I thought it was a Mr. Jones. Sorry, Misty Rose.
Yeah, that's.
I'm getting older, guys.
One
My
of the.
glasses are.
I'll get you the bifocals next.
That's why I go to bed at 7 or 8.
Hey.
We're like, aren't we? We're like the same age, Chaz.
I know.
So
Different
that's
stress
one
levels.
of
I don't
one
get
of
15 holidays. Sorry.
that's one of the students at Faith Academy.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Way to be on. And Nika said that's one of my students. Nika's also a teacher at Faith Academy, which is super important. So do you guys, in your family readiness program, are you guys going to focus on support for the children as well?
Yes.
Awesome.
We're writing different assets to it. So there'll be parent support, there'll be spouse, significant other support, there'll be sibling support, and then there'll be children at all different levels, because obviously you
Awesome.
can't talk to a 5-year-old the same way you can talk to a 15-year-old.
100%.
Absolutely. That's challenging for sure. I can't imagine. So thank you for doing the good work you're doing. Is there any way that our community can support you better?
So I've been asked to do volunteer. How people can volunteer for Facebook or for First Help is Facebook. You follow, you share.
Yeah.
That's how you educate the community of what a first responder goes through on a daily basis. I do a lot of stuff. I work with Sarah Clow. She works for NAMI.
Love you, Sarah.
Yes, love you, Sarah. She does the CIT training, so I kind of follow around her and go with her to teach the CIT trainings, because telling my story, like I said too, is if I can see another officer, fireman, whoever, and tell my story, it can resonate. Like, I can't tell you how many times how many people have said
Absolutely.
yes. So I tell my story, and then I tell First Help's resources, because we do range of resilience training and it's free. And I'm certified to teach range of resilience, so I do that at CIT. I'm actually going to UNR NAMI. NAMI's UNR. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. So I know it's UNR NAMI or NAMI UNR, but I'm going there to tell my story too, because they want to learn how they can get involved with First Help, the suicide prevention walk. NAMI will be having another NAMI walk, a Nevada NAMI walk, so I'll be there too. Follow me on my Facebook. It's the Ciara Deuley-Madrid, and you can share whatever I post. That one it's completely open. My story is on there for you to read, to share, because awareness comes from these conversations.
100%.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we'll definitely share some stuff on our page and share what you're doing. So thank you. We appreciate it. And we want to definitely, the whole reason we do this show is, yes, the events are fun, community stuff is fun, and that's part of the reason why we talk about that is the community, right? Mm-hmm. But definitely it's about learning about these different resources like First Help. What you guys are doing matters a lot, and what we as the community need to know that these are available. Mm-hmm. And if one more person hears about these kinds of resources and listens to your podcast and learns more about how they can either support a loved one or someone else that's going through something that we may not understand, then that matters.
Yes.
That matters a lot. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Rob says, is he editing it? He might be editing or something.
This is a very important cause. When I first became an EMT, I didn't know your dad was an EMT.
Yeah, he's a veteran, EMT,
Awesome.
Wow.
all sorts of things. Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yes. I dealt with a really tough child casualty. The advice I got then in 1991 was to suck it up, and that's still the advice some of those first responders get, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. It's getting better, but it's still tough. But things have really changed for the better. And then Andrea said, "Thank you, Ciara. Your service is so needed." Oh man.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason we do it live, is so we can have these conversations. So I appreciate it, and there's been some people that have been very scared to know that we're doing this live. So we appreciate your bravery coming in here.
I had to laugh because when you asked Ciara that question earlier about what do you think or how can they support you, I was like, she's going to tell them. She's not afraid to speak up.
No,
awesome.
I do not speak up. I have been known to tag politicians in posts and then get removed as a friend, and then I just refriend them. It's okay, because to make change, you got to make waves.
Yeah. There are times I'll tell Ciara something for some of our partnered causes. Be like, hey, wait a minute before you go tell people.
Well,
No,
yeah.
but we need people to step up though and say the truth and have the courage to be able to take a stand, because otherwise things aren't going to change.
Absolutely.
And is there any other ways? Where can people? Is it a nonprofit? Can people
Yes.
donate to it?
Oh yeah, you can donate. And right now, as everybody knows, funds
Yeah.
are very low, all across the board. And since we're a nonprofit, and we do so, like Chaz was saying, the family event in Texas, we try to bring every single family member that registers on. They don't pay for anything. We bring
amazing.
them
Wow.
because a lot of the times too, when first responder takes their life, it's not a line of duty death. So they lose their pension, they lose insurance, they lose all these fundamental things you need to live. And most of the time too, they were the only ones that worked in the family because of their jobs. So we bring all the families for that weekend.
Awesome. And where can people donate?
So they can
financially?
donate through firsthelp.org.
Okay.
Right there, you can do just a monetary donation. On my Facebook, I have a fundraiser going right now. I'm trying to sponsor a family to go, raising enough funds to sponsor a family.
Okay.
So there's that, because I will be sharing stories, not just mine. So I do have family members that I've reached out to, asking them to share their story.
Yeah.
So that way, it's not that my story doesn't matter, but for followers, they hear my story and they know my story, where we all have the same story, but they're all different in some way. So getting other people's stories out there can really open up the world to see just how much it is affecting, because statistically, an officer is more likely to take their life than they are to get killed in the line of duty.
Yeah. Ooh. It's a problem. We gotta change that.
Well, and we have a very active community. Like time, talent, and treasure is definitely something that we talk about a lot on this podcast, and within our volunteer group. We have over 32 volunteers that volunteer every week here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, and that number's growing right now. And we also have people that are involved in our monthly giving and all sorts of things. So when we have a community resource on here, we definitely want to encourage our listeners and viewers, hey, check it out. And if you feel led, donate time, talent, or treasure.
Absolutely. And I will point out to you on the website, you can do it anonymously. So I don't want anybody to feel they have to do it, but you can report any suicide that you know of. Even if 9 other people have reported it, report it, because there might be details that we're missing. And we just got the funding to expand our statistics that we take in to see how many chiefs we're losing, to break it down even more, because we saw there was an even bigger need than just a number each year. But so we could break it down and provide more resources based on, retirement, not retirement, age, all that. So there's that. And you don't need to know a lot of information to input a first responder. You need their name,
Sure.
the date they died, the state, and there's, if they're a Leo, if they're a firefighter, you need that. But then, there's all kinds of other options, but you can bypass them and you can put anonymous, and it sends it in. And
That's awesome.
There is volunteers within the organization that do the research to make sure that they're credible, but
that is important.
it is very important.
It is really important.
The numbers matter. And if you go to firsthelp.org and you do / the numbers, it'll pull up an interactive map that is updated daily for the numbers.
And I love that, because it's a horrible thing to have to look at in one aspect, but to really visualize it as the year progresses, it's powerful, and we have to realize how big of an issue this is. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Did you have any questions for us on Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet?
No, I'm pretty excited that I got 5 bags of clothes to drop off.
Well, thank you.
My garage is happy.
Because we never sell the clothes, and we always give them away, which is truly one of a kind. I shared a video on there about Goodwill. An officer went in, and there was someone who needed shoes, and nothing against Goodwill, but he asked if they could give some shoes for this lady who was homeless and had no shoes, and they said no, we're not allowed to do that, so he had to buy them. And I'm thinking that's crazy. So I'm honored to work with Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet as a volunteer, because it's a powerful thing for our community. Over 28 years, right?
Over 28 years. That's right.
It's amazing.
And we're all about being open for another 28 years, right?
That's right.
And we're going to keep moving forwards with our micro closet expansion project and all of our partners that are coming alongside us. It is amazing to see, because this organization isn't about me, isn't about Chaz, isn't about any of that. It's about the community coming together to create change and purpose. Mm-hmm. That's our mindset. That's why we do what we do, is we really care about what's happening in the community. Because Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet shouldn't be about just giving a piece of clothing to someone. It's about a movement. It's about more than just that pair of shoes that gentleman needs. Now, we want to give that person a pair of shoes, but we also want to connect him to resources that he can be helped more than just, oh, we gave him a pair of shoes. Right.
And because it's the way you think about it. You think about it way more outside of the box than just a pair of shoes. Like when I do stuff, it's not, I just did this. It's because of this, and this, because it can change this, or this, or this.
Exactly.
It's a big puzzle piece that needs to happen. So, I mean, like you give a pair of shoes and that could get him a job, that could change his life, and then do this and do this and do this.
Right. Yeah. Some of our partners are actually people that connect some of our clients to jobs or housing or those kinds of things. So we really want to be a resource that is connecting with other resources.
It's amazing what a few acts of kindness can actually do long term. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I just keep thinking 28 years from now, you with the gray mustache. 28 years.
Gray. My dad's not young, and he actually has no grays yet. Yeah.
He was pretty fast too.
Yeah.
No, compared to I was really impressed.
I've chased him before.
You were in bed, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Marathon. So.
It's actually a funny story. My mom didn't realize she signed up my dad to go to.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And so she got the packet, and then, oh, do you want it for your husband too? And she's like, what?
That's awesome.
Because she's a runner. My mom's a runner.
Yeah, you could tell.
But my dad is not. Oh. So it was funny.
For going.
They finished together. I was impressed.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you listening. We went a little over. Thank you guys so much. If you want to find out more about Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, please visit getclothes.org. And Community Cares is always available on all sorts of different platforms. You just type in Community Cares, and usually we come on right up. So we're on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, and all over the place. So thank you guys so much for listening. Please share it with a friend, and let people know what's happening in your community here in Reno, Sparks, Washoe County, and keep helping people in need. That's what it's all about. Just like you said, sharing a few of your posts helps people. It really does.
Makes a huge difference, yeah, definitely.
So, I'm sorry.
No.
Did you want to say something?
No, I didn't have anything. Are you tired? You were sleeping all day, huh? You had to wake up? I'm just teasing.
We help 700 people a month, no matter what. We're asking you to come alongside and help one.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.